Hey, girlfriend, you know who you are. You have big, big dreams. You want to write a book, stand on a TED Talk stage, be a life coach offering wisdom from your RV in Montana, a cafe in Barcelona, or a beach chair in Tulum. Your other girlfriends and your family, they don't always get your biz savvy. Why do you want to leave your JOB? Because you're a CATS, aka coach, author, thought leader, and speaker. Meet other change makers like yourself and find out how they make it happen. This is the Big Meow Podcast.
Hello, all you cats. I'm Kristen, and I'm here with Dr. Melinda Fouts. Hi, Melinda.
Hi, Kristen. How are you today?
I'm excellent. Thank you so much for being here. You know, I love what you said about listening to the things that aren't said. I think a lot of us have things within us, but we don't always know if we have permission to say that out loud, especially when it comes to, ourselves and the work that we're doing in the world. How does that show up for you with the clients that you work with?
So my clients are so close to what they're doing, and I have this overview effect. So when I'm listening to them talk, I'm thinking, okay, they're not saying everything. And I think it's my 27 plus years of being a psychotherapist that got me to really listen, and I read the whole body. And I just have developed this intuitive sense to listen for what's not being said. And I'll say, well, is this what you really want to say? So I'll do a reframe and like, oh, yes. So I just hone in on what they really want to say.
It seems like now more than ever, people are seeking authenticity in their voice, being vulnerable in, the message that you're putting out there in the world. In your opinion, why is it so important to say what you truly feel?
I think everyone is tired of putting out a persona and following a program. And I think when they develop self-awareness and develop who they are, they want to have their voice and they want to be heard. The most important thing in any relationship is high level of respect, feeling appreciated, and feeling heard. And I think with the ability to express ourselves in a healthy manner with certain skills and techniques, really speaking from an I place and not a you place, people are willing to listen to your message more.
A lot of coaches, we're all coaches, especially as cats, we have to deal with a lot of different personality types, lots of variety of conversations. Can you give any tips or pointers to other coaches that are out there that are wanting to just up level just the way they're working with their clients?
Always meet them where they are. You never know what's going to show up. And so when you meet them where they are and you sit back and go, okay, what is it they're really needing from me? And my premise is people are suffering. People aren't showing up their best. And you're listening to what is suffering in them. And when you listen for that, then you can guide them into having more inner peace, because we all get in the way of our own success.
I definitely agree with that. So, Melinda, what was something that you did in your business path that really changed everything for you?
I worked with a global CIO who was told she was harsh with her team. And after we worked together for 9 months, I discovered 3 of her blind spots. I discovered what would trigger her to pounce on her team. And then I discovered 2 other blind spots in this work with her. And at the end, this is when I was a psychotherapist, at the end of 9 months, she said, you need to be an executive coach. She said, I've worked with a lot of executive coaches, but no one's helped me. And that was a game changer for me. I wanted to turn the dial and I just didn't know how. And coaching is a lot more powerful. I can get to know and exchange information with the client more. When in psychotherapy, you sit back and listen and you're like this blank slate to them. And it's just more dynamic and compelling. And I realized working with leaders would really make a lot of difference in organizations and everyone who works under them. And I really enjoy it.
So what do you do for fun or self-care?
Well, I meditate every day for self-care. I live in Colorado, so I love to hike and ski and travel.
Okay, where are you going next? I love to travel.
I'm
So what's on
leaving in
what's
10
on your agenda
days.
for 2023?
In 10 days, I'm on a jet plane to the United Kingdom. My book is being featured by my publisher at the London Book Fair, and then we're going to Amsterdam.
Aw, so tell us about the book.
The book is called Cognitive Enlightenment, and it's a short book, 80 pages, but it's dense. And the whole premise is disciplining our mind not to let anything disrupt our inner peace. And we let everything outside of our control disrupt our inner peace, the weather, a driver. And so all we can control, Kristen, are our thoughts, our words, and our actions. And so when we talk about a growth mindset, a positive mindset, that's a challenge because we're wired to look whatever is going to threaten our survival. So you're choosing a mindset. You're choosing like, that's out of my control. I'm not going to let it in here. That's what my book is about.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on that and being featured at the London Book Fair. Is this your first book?
It is my first book, and I was never going to write a book. And everyone kept saying, you got to write a book. I'm like, I don't want to write a book. But it came to me and I did.
You know, I think that this is just an important thing to touch on just for other cats, because I think there's lots of other individuals out there who like, I don't want to write a book. You know, I think it's too hard. I'm not sure what I'm going to put out there. I mean, could you give them any advice?
So it just seemed so big to write a book. And I know this is going to sound very weird, Kristen. I hike up a mountain in the mornings before I work with clients to just get really cleared and be a vessel for them. And so one day in December, these two words just come to me, cognitive enlightenment. And I said, is that the title of my book? So I came home, wrote the words down, said, I'm not writing a book. And then a few days later, I'm hiking and like all the chapter titles came. So one Saturday morning, this little voice in me says, you love to write, because I write for Forbes. Why don't you just go write the first chapter? You don't have to write a book. And I sat there from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and it just flew out of me. So advice to other people. Listen to what message you want to share. Let it say, ask the question. Because you have gifts to share. You have wisdom to share. Hold the question and don't go looking for the answer. Because like I said, it was so big for me, I had no idea what direction to take. So I just said, well, okay, I'll just hold the opportunity. And then it comes to you. The unconscious will work on it when you're not thinking about it and give you a brilliant idea. So I'll just hold it up so everybody can see.
I love it. You know, it's so funny. We have such a similar story. When I wrote my first book, I also had a meditative practice that I was doing every day. And this title came in. I'm like, I am not writing a book. There's no way, you know, because prior to that, I'd worked in TV news and the only thing that I'd ever written was like a 2-minute news story. So the thought of writing this giant book, and not that it needs to be giant, but, you know, there was a lot of resistance. And I do think that what you said is just so true, is that one, have a practice in place that is a container where you can have a bridge between your, you know, subconscious mind, and that your subconscious mind will actually bring in these elements for you. I mean, one could even argue it's like your future self, just reminding you, your present self, to do the couple little things so you can get to what's next on your journey. And
Right.
I love that advice.
I think what prepared me was writing my dissertation. It was a theoretical dissertation.
Yeah.
And it was presenting the second half of life. We have one model, and that's the hero's journey. Well, in the second half of life, we need to be more reflective and not continually to conquer and conquer. And originally, I did not pass my defense the first time, which was a blessing. And it was like an 800 dissertation. And my professor, Lynn Cowan, said, "Do you have time to talk on Sunday for a couple of hours?" I said, "Sure." Anyway, for an hour, she tells me a story. She loved to go to horse races with James Hillman. So she gives me this big story, and then she goes, "Why did I tell you this story?" I said, "I don't know." And she said, "Ditch all the theory, tell the story. There's a story in there.
Yeah.
We want the story." And can I say, part of writing when it comes to you is tell the story. And the scariest thing I did in my book was the last chapter was a full, transparent self-disclosure, tying up everything I talk about in the book and my journey trying to have inner peace.
I love it. I think being an author is about being brave, putting yourself out there. Well, Melinda, where can we find you and find your new book?
Cognitive Enlightenment is on Amazon, and you can find me at melinda@successstartswithyou.net. Go to my website, successstartswithyou.net, and I offer a complimentary coaching session, and I have coached other coaches.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for being with us on the Big Meow.
Thank you, Kristen. This was fun.
Thanks for listening to the Big Meow podcast, sponsored by Cats Network. If you liked what you heard, please take a moment to subscribe and share this podcast with your friends. You can also join our network filled with positivity and possibility. Visit www.catsnetworking.com to join us and learn more, together with your magical, motivated, and mystical new friends at Cats Network. Let's transform 1,000,000 lives with your message. Are you feeling isolated, sitting at home in your PJs? Or perhaps you're tired of the comfy sweatpants with holes in them that are hidden just below the camera? I mean, you could puke at the thought of another day of Zoom meetings and reporting to your BOSS. Do you want freedom from your home office desk or the office cubicle? Do you want freedom from your current career? Or are you frustrated that your online biz dreams are going nowhere? It's all too overwhelming. Where do you start? All the tech, the choices, and your message. Yep, I said your message, your brand, your voice. What is it? Do you even know what that means? Do you need a biz coach but don't want to invest the big bucks? Let's face it, being a solopreneur is lonely, but you don't have to do it alone. And here's a solution. Join Cats Network. Cats Network is a woman-only membership community exclusively available to you, the life coach or executive coach, the author, the thought leader, or the public speaker. If you identify with this list or want to work on adding some of these to your skill set, Cats is the place for you. Check us out at www.catsnetworking.com. That's CATS networking.com. Because let's face it, cats are better together.